Welcome to Storybound, where we are diving back into the world of Metroid with the now critically acclaimed return to form Metroid Dread. This chat will contain spoilers for the game. The gameplay in the background will also contain spoilers, so please be warned. Holy shit, everybody. Metroid Dread is here. It's literally in my hands on Switch, for real, and it's fantastic. Besides a minor concern like an impassable puzzle in a room ceiling early on in the game.
So he says, go back up in that room and shoot the ceiling. What? Why? There's no indication on the map. There's no indication visually.
It's honestly a masterpiece and easily my game of the year. As a kid, Metroid was my jam. That being said, I was a Sega kid and didn't have a Game Boy or a SNES to play Metroid 2 or Super Metroid. I remember getting Nintendo Power, reading the magazine, and seeing how cool Metroid 2 was, and I feel like it had ads for it everywhere, even on cereal boxes. Remember thinking it looked super cool, Super Metroid was coming out, and I was ecstatic when my friend picked it up. It was amazing, we played for hours, but it was too hard for us. We were pretty young, couldn't figure out a lot of the puzzles, so we had to get one of the older neighbors to show us how to get past it until the point where my friend eventually was calling me to do it, because I became immediately enamored by this game, getting lost in the puzzles, the labyrinths, the world, the sci-fi, the aliens vibe, everything it presented. And I'm in my 30s and I'm still talking about this, making videos and gushing about the series. It's been a huge part of my life, and I'm excited it's back. So, now nearly 20 years after the release of Fusion, Samus is back as a mostly silent protagonist, showing off more personality than she ever has. Fans of the series noticed immediately in the press releases and trailers that Samus was strutting her stuff. She was exuding confidence and is showing us in an amazing return to consoles why she is Nintendo's premier badass. When Samus sees Kraid and drops her guard like, oh, this loser, and slams his mouth shut, I love it. If you're watching this video and you've seen the reviews, you've heard the Samus stands gushing about the silky smooth gameplay, the shine spark puzzles, the sick 3D aiming controls, the quick time counters, and everything just works, and it's so silky smooth. Some of the shine spark puzzles felt so rewarding. The mobility of this game has put Samus on a whole other level in terms of movement and possibilities, and after watching some speedruns, shout out to Hard Pelican, who has been crushing this game with some great speedrun tutorial guides and gameplay. We're starting to see some really crazy stuff come out of the speedrun community due to the new mobility, and I feel like this has really revitalized interest in the series as a whole, and I'm so happy for friends right now. Metroid Dread also contains what I think is kind of a perfectly paced story for a Metroid game. We knew the Chozo would finally take center stage in this game. What I don't think we knew was we would get a Darth Vader moment with Baddie Chozo, Ravenbeak, which may be one of my favorite boss fights in a final game in recent memory, climaxing with him maybe even killing Samus, awakening her Metroid form for a final giant kaiju battle with a Kamehameha to the face from Samus, and the oh-so-famous escapes from planets being destroyed by Samus. It just kind of tops off the perfect ending to arguably a perfect game. The small hints that Adam had been replaced by Ravenbeak was so subtle and wildly obvious on a second playthrough. It's fantastic, and I can't seem to find anyone who figured this out leading up to the finale on their first playthrough. The subtle Adam saying lady in the intro versus Ravenbeak saying Samus Aran is really cool. The idea of Ravenbeak impersonating the AI just didn't cross my mind while I was playing with it, and it was a really cool reveal, and that missile slowdown of her destroying him is top tier. Getting a slight glimpse into the hardships of Samus, what she's gone through, knowing she was genetically modified, part Chozo, most likely stemming from an abusive relationship. I still love the gaps in her story, that we can fill with our imagination, but I do like these blocks that they've kind of placed in to fill in some of those gaps. I'm on the fence if I would ever want this explained fully, but as far as her main story arc for Metroid 1 through 5, I kind of would like this to be it. I think I would like to move forward to a new era of Samus, the part Chozo, part Metroid, and now possibly even part X. I can't wait to see where this story goes moving forward. Whether the next step in her story is Metroid Prime being a sequel of sorts in the main story arc that trilogy was taking, or if Prime 4 is the next logical step forward for Samus' adventures after Metroid 5. Kind of collecting bounties in space. I'm just glad Metroid is crushing it right now, critically, and then I can look forward to more adventures, hopefully before I'm 50 years old. Please, Nintendo, drop a teaser for Prime 4 already. It's kind of killing me right now. If you actually want some deep dives into Metroid story-wise, I highly recommend Rule of 2 reviews. He predicted a lot of what happened in this game and has some really cool insights into the story and some solid videos to kind of get you all that Metroid goodness. This was a quick ramble about Metroid Dread. If you like my content, please like the video and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. What was your favorite Samus moment in this game, or any of the others? Thanks again for watching, and as always, have a good one.